My name is Spencer Higa, and you're listening to the Drop Jaw Flies podcast.
Boom!
Well, I used to worm dunk, but I graduated from that.
I'm Lance Egan, and I forgot what I was supposed to say.
That guy's got everything on his face that you want to shave off. Just stick him solid.
Welcome to the Drop Jaw Flies podcast, your source for fly fishing talk, tips, and stories. In this episode, Jason and I are on the road in Pocatello, Idaho to visit with the super cool VonBeardly, otherwise known as Marc Crapo. Marc is a super talented photographer, artist, leather craftsman, and fly fisherman, and we had a blast visiting with him. Marc tells us of his conversion to fly fishing, or rather, his aha moment, and how one really cool fly fisherman years ago has left Marc wanting to pay it forward. We also get a sneak peek into Marc's upcoming short video series titled The Beard Chronicles and the Legend of Neckbeard, and you do not want to miss this discussion. We hope you enjoy our podcast. You can subscribe to us on iTunes, Stitcher, Podbean, and our YouTube channel. I'm Chad Nelson along with my co-host, Jason Arvey. Here is today's podcast.
Probably should go back a little bit because, I started doing filmmaking in high school, video productions, all that kind of stuff, and won some awards. Not because I was really good at it, but because, I put together a funny story and people related to it, you know what I mean? And then a lot of people don't even know of the Trout Bum Diaries. I don't know if you guys remember the Trout Bum Diaries. Trout Bum Diaries really was the groundbreaking film in fly fishing for independent filmmaking. And I knew those guys before they even went. In fact, they asked me to go, and I was like, dude, I'm not going to quit my job so I can go to South America for 5 months. Sorry. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was working at Microsoft, I had a good job. I wanted to buy my place in Idaho, and so, I had goals, but anyway, I sold them their first digital video camera and their first digital camera for taking stills that they brought down there with them and shot some of the film on. Like Dreadlocks guy, Ryan Davey, remember that kid? Mm-hmm. Anyway, so he and I were buddies, and we shot a ton of stuff that's never been released, that I'm probably going to start slowly releasing, like 2005, summer of 2005, we did a bunch of trips. Yeah, it was funny. And, from that time that they came back in 2003, from South America, and I was with them. We lived in Seattle, suburbs, and I got to see the whole thing unfold, so I got to watch like the very first cut of the Trout Bum Diaries. We had a big party, at this fly shop that our buddy owned, and anyway, it was fascinating, but it was inspiring because I was like, man, I want to do the same thing. Got my tax returns. I went out and bought like a Sony VX2000, and anyway, I started filming with that. But it's that's kind of where it started, and then we shot those DVDs. Costa Rica Challenge was the last one that we put out. That's been on TV. That's been on World Fishing Network. I started doing the International Fly Fishing Film Festival after working for the F3T. I switched over to the IF4 and started doing some films there with them, and actually won the short film category 2 years, and I won the feature film 1 year. So
nice.
I pulled a hat trick on that, which was pretty kind of cool.
What was the name of that one?
Which one?
The one that you won?
The first one was for No Sports Allowed Volume 2.
Okay.
And the second one was for the Costa Rica Challenge, and that was the feature film.
Okay.
And then The third one was just Beard Chronicles, and that's just kind of like, it's like I'm going solo, you know what I mean? So that's kind of what I've been working on for the last 5-6 years. 5 years is really just Beard Chronicles, and I mean, I don't know how many terabytes of footage I have that I've logged that I've just been kind of sitting on a little bit because I haven't figured out how I want to release it. But I actually have figured it out now, and so soon there's going to be some stuff coming out that's going to be, people are going to be like, what the heck?
You heard it here first, guys. It's coming.
It's true, and hopefully, I'm hoping that it's interesting enough and entertaining enough that it pulls people in from outside of fly fishing, because it's not just about fly fishing. It's lifestyle, it's humor, it's stuff that every walk of life can relate to, because fly fishing's this big. Fly fishing's like ping pong. Fly fishing is nothing as far as an industry goes, and I mean, don't be discouraged by that.
Oh no, it's true.
But it's just a fact, you know this because you're in it. But I mean, you go to ICAST or in one of those big shows, and it's like there's the fly fishing sections over here, and then the rest of the building is full of sport fishing.
Yeah.
Sport fishing is like NASCAR. Sport fishing is like, and so I want to try to appeal to the larger audience, because everybody knows fly fishing, and fly fishing is the coolest thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's snobby. It's kind of hard to get into. It's expensive. You got to tie your own flies if you really want to be cool, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, but there's
it
a
can be
reason
tough.
why I didn't do it my whole 20s and 30s. I kind of started out. I did a little guiding, and then I'm like, this just isn't cutting it, man. That's not going to work. And so 20 years goes by, 25 years goes by, and then I'm like, I need to do something.
Right.
Well, it's so technical too. I mean,
Yeah.
I just got into fly fishing a year and a half ago, 2 years ago.
Sure.
He converted me, but there's so much to it.
Really is.
From all the knots, setting it up right. You got to learn how to cast, have proper technique. I mean, but what I love about it is it's a lot like hunting,
Yeah.
which I love to do. And you're out there, you're chasing the fish, you're hunting them. You got to kind of know their pattern, how they're feeding, and all that. Whereas spin rod, I mean, you're just chucking it out there blindly and reeling it in, and you hope you hook something.
And I haven't spin fished for I don't know how long, but I tell you what, like I got an ugly stick and a box of Rapalas in my bug out bag with, you know what I mean? It's just a fact. I mean, when it hits the fan and I'm boogieing north, I'm gonna be like, oh, okay, there's dinner, all right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
true.
It's
in fact,
right?
There's a reason why somebody was like, this just isn't getting it done. I'm gonna make a reel that just pulls the line in.
Yeah. Well, and it's still fun, I mean, one of these days I'm gonna go out and drown some worms again on film. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just to do it.
It's fun.
It is fun.
It's fun to do.
It's fun, and people kind of lose track of their roots when they convert to fly fishing. They go through a phase, as I went through it. I think most people do. They kind of start to develop this little veneer of snobbiness, like, I used to worm dunk, but I graduated from that, and now it's like I fly fish only, and then it's like, and I started out like when I started, like I fly fished, I used to throw flies on my spinning rod when I was in Cub Scouts, what I mean?
Yeah.
I used to raid my dad's tackle box, and he had this cool fly wallet, and I'd steal it, and I caught more fish using little like emergers and like soft hackles with a split shot and a swivel.
Oh yeah, man, the gray hackle yellow.
Oh, that is the one, dude.
Gray hackle yellow,
yeah.
bubble.
Right? Yeah, that's deadly. So, but I think I was. It was like 2001, and I'd been already fly fishing for a while, but you know, I was still spin fishing. You know what I mean? I'd get out on the Provo and I'd be like, what am I going to do this morning? I'm going to throw Rapalas, of course. You know, we got my fly rod in the trunk, but you know, whatever. And I remember I was out there down below Deer Creek, right there at the camp.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you know that side channel that comes close to camp?
Yeah.
Right? I went in that side channel and I whacked like 5 big fish first thing in the morning. And I got to the bottom of that island and I saw this old dude there, and his name was Charlie. I can't remember his last name, but he was an old guide from the Green River, and he was already pretty old. You know what I mean? He was retired. He and his wife owned mail muckers up in Park City or something like that. Anyway, and I watched this guy down. He was down at the little confluence hole, and I watched him nymphing. And this guy, I kid you not, I watched him stick and land like literally probably 20 or more fish in minutes.
Wow.
I couldn't even believe it.
Wow.
I was like, I've never seen anything before, and I've never seen anything since that guy like putting on a clinic. And I mean, I think he had all of his barbs pinched, and he would kind of shake them off when they got close. Or, you know, he wasn't all doing, you know, and taking pictures, and you know, he was just like,
Get off.
oh, there's another one. And I was like sitting there watching him, and because I knew I just caught 5 hogs, and I was proud. And I made every one of those fish bleed. You know what I mean? It's just a fact. And I got down there, and I hollered at him. I was like, hey, what's the magic fly? You know, like the river runs through it. What are they biting on?
Yeah. No answer from you.
Yeah. And he's like,
He's out there in his chest.
totally. And he looks over at me and he says, why don't you finish fishing this run and meet me up at my camper and I'll show you what they're biting on.
Cool.
And I'm like, okay. So my eyes did not leave him, and I was like, down to the corner. And as soon as he crossed the river, I was like running, you know. And he, you know, took me over to his camper and sat down with me, and he taught me how to tie this one secret sow bug that is like completely deadly to this day. And his wife cooked us breakfast, and we ate, and like
so cool.
coolest guy. Like, it makes me want to just really pay it forward, you know what I mean? And so his camper was right on that side channel, and right where there's a little bucket. And he says to me, we're eating breakfast, and he says, see where that guy's standing? And I said, yeah. And he says, he's standing where he should be fishing. He said, he's standing right in the bucket where he should be fishing, and he's casting over to the shallow side, you know, where the willows are. And I'm like, okay. Dude worked on down, didn't catch anything, and he said, listen, you got a fly rod? I'm like, yeah, and it's in my trunk. And he's like, go get it. So I went and got it, strung it up, put the fly on that he showed me how to tie. I tied this fly, I put it on, and he said, okay, I want you to go over to that bucket, and I want you to catch the fish that's in there. And he said, I want you to look, because the fish was, you know, here's the water coming this way, and the fish was pointed right here. Because of the way the substrate is, you know, the water on the bottom of the river runs to the lowest spot. It doesn't always just go like this, right? And we see it on top and we think it's all going like that, but on the bottom it's going every which way.
And slower.
And slower. So he rigged me up with a little indicator and stuff, and he got me cast into this fish, and sure enough, I caught that fish.
Nice.
I could see it in there, and I cast it to it, and I stuck it right, standing right there, and he was just like, all right, it's on. And he took me out, and he fished me for like 4 hours, and he taught me how to, you know, like read the water, and then like he would carve out a little segment in his mind, and he would just like, he wouldn't fish with any more than like 15 feet of line, and he would, you know, taught me how to mend and stack cast and do everything. And he had these like killer indicators that were like the foam ones with the.
Yeah.
Have you seen those?
Look like a porcupine.
Yeah, but well, no, they were off both sides.
Oh.
I found them at some fly shop in New Mexico. I had to like special order them, but
Maybe I haven't seen those then. I just remember the
they
badminton.
were trick, and anyway, so we fished this, and I think I hooked like 4 big fish, and it was 10 times funner for me to get schooled by those 4 big fish. I think I don't even know, not even sure if I landed one of them, but I know I got worked. And I remember getting taken around the corner, and I was like, ah, and he's like just laughing and just like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And anyway, that was the beginning for me. And I nymphed almost exclusively for a long time. And I was always like, dry fly fishing? Why would I do that when I could catch so many fish nymphing? You know what I mean?
So how long ago was this, Mark?
This was in 2001. Hi, babe. You're so hot.
Hi. So that was Mark's new bride that just walked in. You got married
2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
2 thumbs up.
He's
Double
letting us
thumbs
crash the post-honeymoon, which is so cool.
We're still telling people we're on our honeymoon if we don't want to do things. Oh, hey, you got to go to Mutual tonight. I'm like, tell them you're on your honeymoon still.
That's how it's done.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations,
Yeah,
brother.
thank you. Thank you.
Super congratulations.
So that was like 2001, and I started streamer fishing about the same time. Had some killer experiences, which I won't name, but it was something else, man. It was a change, and then I became a little bit snobbish, like, oh well, I'm just fly fish, and then my friends, I moved to Idaho, and I start fishing with guys like Royce Klingler and Brady Sessions, and Royce is like, you nymph fish? And I'm like, yeah, and I slay. And he's just like, nymphing is for sports. He's like, if you are getting guided and you nymph fish, then you're a total sport. That's what you do. That's your jam. Cool. Good on you. And there were times when we were out, and he's streamer fishing like a madman. These guys are like, they're the guys that like, they've caught so many fish that they don't even care if they catch a fish.
Yeah.
They're wearing their cowboy boots in the boat with jeans on, and they're not even getting wet that day. You know what I mean? They're just like, whatever. Like, I'm not getting out of the boat, and I'm not changing flies. This is the bug I'm throwing, and if those fish are not going to eat it, then I guess I'm not going to catch a fish today, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to make them eat it. And that's how they roll.
That's how it gets. That's how it becomes.
It's funny, like, and I'm not. I can't really say that I'm totally all there yet, but I don't really nymph fish anymore. I don't even know how anymore. You know what I mean? I dry fly fish and I streamer fish and and sometimes I'll throw a dry dropper. I mean that's my nymphing.
Yeah.
I mean, like it only takes like snagging and breaking off 3 flies one time for me to be like, I'm throwing a streamer and that's it for the rest of the day.
That's exactly how it was for me a long time ago. It's just like, this is what I enjoy, and so this is what I'm going to do, and if I don't catch a fish, then I did what I wanted to, and that's how it is, that's how I got to. But that moment for you on the Provo River, that wasn't your introduction, because you had your fly rod, but it was the time, it was your aha moment. You're like...
That was my conversion.
Yeah.
That was a conversion moment, Yeah. That was like getting baptized, you know what I mean? And it took someone, it took someone like being that cool to like hook me up and show me, like just set my feet on the right path, and then it was like I wasn't making fish bleed anymore. You know what I mean?
Well,
no more treble hooks.
Yeah, no more treble hooks.
Yeah.
I can't say I don't make them bleed anymore, but we try to minimize. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But anyway, Mark, have you had a chance to pay it forward? I was just...
No, that's better than what I was gonna say.
That's a good question.
Have you had your chance yet to see that kid on the bank? Or?
Well, I'm hoping that what I've been doing in my videos and things like that has been in that direction. Because I want people to watch what I do and who aren't fly fishing and be like, I'm gonna fly fish because that's cool.
Yeah.
And I mean, I can't pick out a specific. I mean, I have fished with some kids and tried to mentor some people, but I'm not. I can't be like toot toot. You know what I mean?
But it's coming. Opportunities.
Yeah, I mean they're always there, and I mean really what it comes down to is learning how to be gracious and be cool. You know, because there are, you know, I've spent a good majority of my life being a total, you know what I mean? And so,
I don't think the audio picked that up.
you know,
What are they biting on?
yeah, exactly. You know, and so I think that, you know, and I've had some good examples. I've seen some people be super cool when they didn't have to be, and I know that it pays. You know.
Yeah, it sure does.
Yeah.
I had the chance to fish with you a couple times. One recently, one last year.
Yeah.
One, maybe the first time was 07, 06. It was a while back.
Yeah, Conant Creek.
Conant Creek. No Conant Creek.
Oh, I heard stories about that.
No Tellum
No
Creek.
Tellum Creek. Well, it's Pennsylvania. I mean, it's a ways out.
Yeah, it's a long,
ways out.
and you have to hike.
Oh, well, after the second day, I was like, I'm not, if it's not in the next half hour, I'm going back to,
Right.
you know.
You remember that?
Oh, yeah.
That thing was so cool,
My mule was just like, wouldn't go anymore.
right? His mule failed on him. He had
But
to
anyway,
turn back.
that was fun times, man. And
Yeah.
your first movie that I saw, I believe you said that you had filmed part of it there.
I did.
That's some of the coolest stuff ever. Of you and Royce just having fun on that creek, catching fish after fish. That's a very cool shot.
There's a small section of that creek that has the potential of holding big fish year round, and especially during, like, you know, the hot times, and because of the drought and because of, you know, dewatering, and because of, believe it or not, like I didn't always want to believe that, you know, cows would damage a creek like that, but it's never been the same. So we hit it during some really primo months, a very small window, but anyway, yeah, it was good. It was fun.
So cool.
That was cool. I didn't mean that was your first movie, but it was definitely the first no sports allowed.
Yeah. That was
In that series,
we shot some stuff there in both the first two films. Yeah.
So cool.
Yeah, those fish, that's the trib of the Fall River, and those fish are pound for pound hotter than they're like little steelhead, and it's crazy. Like I haven't seen anything like it. I mean, you can ask anybody that fishes this Fall River. Those rainbows are bonkers. They're so hot.
It's so fun to catch.
Right?
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And then last year,
I think Jason described them once as a blonde chick getting tasered.
Yeah.
she was an athletic one.
Yes.
She's a strong one.
Yeah.
No offense if you're
Yeah. Sorry, blondes.
athletic blonde.
Yeah. Sorry, Nat.
If you're watching.
Yeah, Nat, if you're watching.
But no, last year I met Mark on the Henry Sport for the Green Drake catch, and I hadn't done that for a long time, and so I thought, hey, because I was going to show Mark the drop shots, because he saw probably maybe the third person to see him. They were that good.
Yeah, that's true. I remember when you showed them to me, and you were making them in your kitchen. You probably still are, but you know, just saying.
We have progressed to 3D printing now.
Oh, cool.
So
They're amazing, and like what people are saying is true, and people are like, what? And I'm like, yeah, that's, you know, I feel lucky that you showed it to me.
Well, I thought, you're in it. You're in fly fishing, I think.
Yeah.
And so I thought.
And you're a streamer guy.
I'm a streamer guy.
It's different because of the head is not traditional, but fly flies are just evolving, and you can't hold stuff back nowadays.
No.
So you just have to roll with it.
Yeah, and fly fishing's evolving. It's
Yeah.
never going to be the same. It's just like kids with the internet, you know. It's never going to be
Yeah.
the same. You're going to try and turn that off. I don't know how to do it.
Like Atari, if our kids were to
Yeah.
play Atari,
They'd
they
be
would
like,
throw that out the window. They would crush that.
What is that?
And so, same with flies. You have to keep. There's always the ones we'll go back to for tradition. Woolly bugger, probably always be around.
Yeah.
So Mark, I wanted to ask you, what, in the time you have been fly fishing, what's changed the most about the sport?
The fly fishing film industry, I think, has changed the sport the most, and that's probably what has changed the most about the sport is the film industry. I mean, it's not hard to buy a camera and to get good lenses and to start shooting and start having fun and start editing and making your own stuff. And a lot of people are getting into it, and it's becoming more popular. You know, with the F3T and the IF4 and all of the stuff coming out on the internet and on Vimeo and YouTube, it's just there's no holds barred. I mean, there's no anyone can make a film, and I encourage people. I mean, I think that's probably one thing that I've done the most of over the years is try to encourage like up and comers, because people encouraged me. You know, and I had some people be like, "Your stuff sucks, and we won't play it," and I'm like,
Yeah.
but at the same time, it's like I had to learn. You know, I had to learn a few things, and granted, you know, it's still. I mean, it carries over with my art, with my photography. I do things that I like, and I just hope that other people dig them too. You know, I'm not trying to cater. You know, I mean, I tried to sell the Costa Rica Challenge to a distributor. Stony Wolf Productions. Nice, guys. You guys are awesome. And they just blew me off bigger than life. Which, you know, hey, it's about the bottom line. So I can't blame you guys. Sorry, but I got to throw you under the bus because you missed out. But they told me, fact was, because Cabela's was like, we want your stuff. We want to sell your films. And I'm like, sure. And they're like, but you got to sell them to Stony Wolf first because we buy all our stuff from these guys. And I'm like, yeah, cool. You know, so I contacted them and they're like, send them to us. I sent them to them. They never got back with me. I followed up. Finally, they got back with me and they're like, cool, but you know, we can't sell them. I'm like, dude, are you kidding me? Like, they're winning all the awards. Like, what are you talking about? Like, people want them. And they're like, no, people only buy instructional videos and da-da-da-da-da-da. And I'm like, okay, well, they know better than I do because they're trying to make a living off of it, you know, and I'm trying to make a living off of it, but it's like,
Right.
selling DVDs is like yesterday's news, I guess.
Yeah.
So true.
Anybody want to buy a DVD? Super good deal. Got them. Got a lot of them. You know what I'm saying?
Oh man, I was going to ask you that because every artist, and I consider you an artist.
Sure, yeah.
You always have like something that was dear to you, and out of your films, out of all your footage, what is it that's the most dear to your heart, so to speak, as an artist? What was it? What footage?
You know, that's a good question. It's not so much footage as much as characters that I've met over the years. And I have got to say that my favorite character that I have filmed is Neckbeard.
Neckbeard?
Have you ever heard of the legend of Neckbeard?
No.
Does he need a razor? Isn't that Sasquatch? Wouldn't that be a Yeti?
He's like a Sasquatch.
No offense to the. That's just awesome.
No, it's an interesting scenario. Old Neckbeard is a dude that he lives in Ryrie, and like he's retired and he's from like Minnesota or something like that, and he seriously like fishes every single day, and he's old school. He's got this rod that's like Frankenstein rod is what I call it. It's like 6 different rods that he got from the Sportsman's Warehouse dumpster from dumpster diving, and he like, I'm not exaggerating, wrapped them, super glued them, you know what I mean?
It's custom one piece.
Literally, and like just like the super willow rod, you know, like whoa, you know, and how I met him is a long story, but he's one of those guys that like if you go to like your favorite spot, don't be surprised if neckbeard's already there. I can't tell you how many times I heard like stories from my friends saying, dude, I went down to my spot below Highway 20 bridge, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, yeah, I know the spot. And they're like, yeah, the one that I hit every single day on my way home from work. Guess who's there? Flipping neckbeard. And guys looks like Ichabod Crane, and he's like Herman Munster size, and he's got white hair, and he has the serious neck beard that goes down underneath his neck, and it pops out like this all over the place. Everything like Chris Owens from Chop Bum Diaries, when he saw Neckbeard, he said, that guy's got everything on his face that you want to shave off. And I'm not bagging on him. Come on, Bruce, Neckbeard, it's all good. He knows, and he's proud. He's like, oh yeah, you know. But the thing about Neckbeard is that like he makes no delineation between cranking bait under the, you know, for big browns underneath a spillway and dry fly fishing. It's the same thing for him. It's exactly the same thing. He does not know. Yeah, it's fishing. He doesn't make any like, oh, I'm just dry fly fisherman. And I'm telling you right now, like the guy fishes with 15 feet of line, and he's a better dry fly fisherman than 90% of the guys out there.
That's so awesome.
It's crazy. And he ties all his own flies with these giant freaking Herman Munster lure pans, you know. He ties like these perfect little like size 20s and 22 midges and stuff. And all of his own ties, all original stuff. And I'm just like, he'll like bust, hey, check this out. You know, and he's all goofy and hair everywhere, and he's, you know, nose hair's hanging out.
Well, Mark, what? So is he on some of your?
He's what the world is about to be hit with in the Beard Chronicles.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, so he'll be available
it's coming.
soon.
Yeah, Beard Chronicles Episode 1, The Legend of Neckbeard, is going to be coming out. It's going to be available for digital download. It'll be cheap, and it will be out on digital download for like 6 months, and then I'll probably release it incrementally. But, you know, it's going to be like a 20-minute edit, and it's going to be hilarious.
Yeah, now that you guys have heard that, how could you not want to see Neckbeard?
I can't
I'm
wait.
fascinated to see Neckbeard.
I just want to see who's got the better beard.
Oh, he smokes mine. I mean, that thing is just, you know, it's just like, he's like a Komodo dragon, but he's like Santa Claus, but he's got the whole Santa beard shaved off. He has like no chin, it's like all back up in here, and he has a pretty good schnoz on him. And he has these big Coke bottle glasses, you know, and he wears a big floppy hat and like 5mm neoprenes that are all patched up with duct tape. And he has like this wading staff that he has a big rope tied around his waist, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm guessing he's single. Would that be in a?
No, he's married. One time I was interviewing him, and he was lamenting that he had to stay home and not fish one day and do his chores.
Okay. I can't wait to see Neckbeard, man. I am excited to see that.
Yeah, Neckbeard's next level.
Well, so another thing about you is you play some guitar.
I do a little bit.
You've done and still do some leather work occasionally.
Yeah,
I know
I
you
do
used
some.
to.
Yeah.
And then of course your still photography, which is just awesome. I don't know. Hope
Yeah.
you guys can see all these prints back here that Mark does, but just amazing.
So, Mark, when we walked in, did you say some of these were a surprise for your wife who just walked in?
Yeah, actually. That one, and then the one of the deer over there, she took those. So.
But these are for
Yeah.
sale on how can people?
I'm just on right now. I'm just on Facebook and Instagram.
Okay.
I have a website, beardmagic.com, and thebeardchronicles.com, but they're not live yet. Maybe they will be by the time this is, I don't know when this is coming out,
But
I'm going to work on it, and I'll have a gallery and some downloads and some
So
opportunity
cool.
to buy online.
so awesome.
Yeah.
But if somebody wanted, they could get a hold of you somehow.
Yeah, just Google me,
Yeah.
you know, at least according to the Border Patrol. You
So
can find out everything you need to know about me online.
there
And
is-
more.
And more.
When I see pictures of fins, because a trout guy, we love fins.
Yeah.
And I can look at that and know it's a Snake River cut. But
Yeah.
there's something about cutthroat fins to me that I just love. I salivate over it, man. And
Yeah.
I love that picture.
Yeah.
Mark, grab that middle one there.
This one?
Yeah. Salmon fly. Hold that up. That
Yeah.
is just so cool.
Yeah,
Incredible.
I think I've actually got, I was just signing prints, so I think I've got that baby right here.
So I hope you guys are all watching the video version of this podcast and you can see these images.
Look at the detail on that.
That is amazing.
Wow.
Still available, it's a #1.
Is that the one you ate after you took the picture? You just decided to eat it?
This one I actually shot at night.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah, this was a night shot with a light.
Look at how much
I lit the
color.
wall up and started shooting.
By the way, what do those taste like? Give us the honest truth.
The
man.
females are a little bitter, but the males taste like little Scooby snacks. Like, have you ever eaten something out of your garden that still had the dirt on it?
Yeah.
Carrot.
Carrots.
Right? Yeah. So it tastes like the dirt part of the carrot.
Gotcha.
You know, like the greens, like some, you know, it's like eating have you ever eaten like, been out like in scouts or whatever and they're like, oh, eat this, it's edible, and it's like some kind of like weird thing that grows out of the ground. Tastes like that.
Gotcha. Now the female, what was you
Oh,
described
it's
that
the
as
eggs,
bitter,
it's
like-
the caviar. They're just bitter. So little babies, fertilized.
So you're in the back of your mind, you're going, oh, I'm getting some protein, but this doesn't taste.
This tastes like crap.
Well, the thing is that like I know that the Shoshone and Bannock tribes, I mean, this is their country, and so it happens that there is absolutely no way possible that during the season they were not up there snarfling on salmon flies. Those things, that's a meal.
Yeah.
You eat 20 of those, and I don't care if you put them on a hot rock and sizzle them up or whatever. I mean, that's, put a little salt on them and
Yeah.
you might have a nice little snack, but
Well, dry them out.
Bear
Yeah.
Grylls has made a career out of doing that, so
right?
yeah.
Anything a trout eats, I would probably eat. Most things.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I want to eat like a, caddisfly larva or
A salamander might be difficult.
Grasshopper.
a snake.
The snake, yeah.
I mean, I might eat a grass. The thing about salmon flies, people are always like, oh, what are you going to eat next? And I'm like, dude, like, I ate that because I watched it crawl out of the water, climb up onto something, and then hatch completely sterile
Yeah.
onto, like, all it's doing is crawling on a concrete
Right.
wall. And I'm like, "Beep." I don't know. It's had like 90,000 plays or something ridiculous like
Yeah.
that, so,
Like a Mormon cricket would probably not be.
Those things are nasty.
They're
Man,
huge. Yeah, I probably wouldn't. But
You'd have to.
I wouldn't eat a mouse either.
Yeah, I'm not really
No,
into that.
no.
Not interested.
So I'd say almost anything that a trout eats. Not everything.
Yeah, the aquatic stuff that hatches, I mean, like the green drake, piece of cake. I mean, it's coming off the water and it's hatching out of its little thing, and then it comes and flies in the air and you catch it. It hasn't touched anything,
Right. Leeches might be.
Yeah, leeches are questionable.
I have eaten a worm.
A scud?
There
I'm
you
down
go.
with that. I can eat shrimp.
Yeah, I wonder if scuds taste like shrimp.
We'll
What
have
about
to
a
try
sow
that.
bug?
I'm down. I do.
Eat a sow bug?
Most of the nymphs are easy. You get some good shock value for the kids if you pop a nymph or two.
Right.
Little,
Yeah,
little
those are-
beta nymph.
Yeah.
The salmon fly, that was a good one. But
Yeah, it's just because they look so gnarly and people are like, oh, and I'm like, whatever.
but that is a gorgeous print, man.
Yeah, man,
Number
thank you.
one, first one up there.
Yeah. I've got a couple of the big ones, and I've got a couple of these babies, and I've got a few of the small ones. You know, just been reinvesting back into my own gig, and
Yeah.
so. Yeah.
Mark, do you sell that shirt too?
You know what? This is Rachel D's got me this shirt. You know what I'm saying? She just like called me up. Hey, I got something for you. What's your address? And I'm like, I gave it to her. This showed up in the mail. She's like, found it at Nordstrom Rack, and I'm like, oh, they stole my picture and put it on a. Probably not. I mean, I have a fork beard. My beard doesn't exactly look like that, but
Well, that's pretty good.
it's pretty funny.
Yeah.
So I call it my uniform. When it
Why
gets
not?
after like 3 or 4 days, right, babe? She washes it for me and I put it back on. Let's be honest, it's hot around here. I wear the air-cooled Russell athletic shorts from the thrift store, and the uniform.
Yeah. Heck yeah.
Yeah,
So
that would do.
what's next for you? What are we gonna see?
I've got a
What the-
film. I've got a film coming out for International Fly Fishing Film Festival for 2017.
Cool.
It's called the Pink Fly Rod Chronicles. You heard it here first.
Pink. Nice.
It's got the ladies in it, and so it's going to be awesome. And I've already shot most of it, and it's killer. And we got all the cool sponsors and all the cool swag and all the cool stuff and all the cool fishing and all the cool
Nice.
gear.
Nice.
So, and the ladies.
Was that shot here in Idaho?
Yep, it's a Henry's Fork film. Yep, it's all on the Henry's Fork and Henry's Fork country, I should say. And yeah, it's cool. It's gonna be good. And I'm just doing the Prince thing, and I just inked a deal with the International Fly Fishing Film Festival as a IF4 ambassador. So Mikey Weir and April Vokey and myself.
Yeah.
We're
Nice.
the three ambassadors, and also you're probably gonna see some more stuff coming out with Patagonia and myself. So
Wow. Cool.
look forward to that. You know what I'm saying?
Nice. I can't wait to see
Yeah.
that.
I saw your last film with April.
Yeah, you saw that, the hog.
The hog, that's what it is.
Yeah, that was fun. Yeah, they
It
flew
looked
me
like
up.
you guys had a lot of fun making that.
Yeah, it was quick. It was like a 2-day project.
Wow.
We slammed it out. We actually filmed it in like 1.5 days
Wow.
ish.
Super fat.
Yeah.
So did you guys combine on the script, or did you just?
You know, it's an interesting story. The legendary twins that own the IF4 and Fly Fusion magazine, the Bird Brothers. I ran into them and Jen, Chris's wife, at ICAST last year, and we had a powwow, and they were like, "Hey, we got this idea. We want to get you and April in a film together. We'll fly you up to Canada, or you can drive your Suburban," which we decided not to drive the Suburban because of the manatees at the border. They love me. Canadian Border Patrol. Just kidding, guys. You're awesome. I love you.
Next time Chad has
Harass
to
me
go
again.
home, he's gonna get busted from.
Yeah.
Are you from Canada?
Yeah.
Really? Yeah, they're gonna be like, "Oh, you know that
You
guy?
know Mark.
Oh yeah, you're in a video with him. What are you doing up here in Canada?"
No, I can't get back home. Sorry, Mom and Dad.
Yeah, sorry,
Blame it on him.
my fault.
You can pick him up in jail though. 'Cause,
Yeah. So they had an idea, and we ran with it. I ended up flying up there. Schedules worked out that April was able to show up the next morning, and yeah, we just that night that I got there, I had the guys from Vantage Point Media House, the Nick Pugic's crew was there. and we sat down and we brainstormed and we storyboarded this with the Bird brothers, and these guys are all geniuses and creative, and we came up with this plan, and that's how we rolled out in a day and a half.
That's
filming.
awesome.
Crazy you did
Not
that.
a lot of fishing,
But
but it was funny and it was fun.
nice.
Yeah, we had a good time. So,
Nice.
April and I are old friends, so it was.
Did you
it was
have to
fun.
get a special license to ride that hog?
Yeah, it's called the Dumb and Dumber license. Oh man, yeah, some of those drone shots, and then like the logging truck on the bridge.
Yeah.
We could not have. I mean, the logging truck was sitting there like it was waiting for us, and I was like, "Go have that guy follow me across the bridge." They're like, "Okay," you know.
It is funny though, you left the shaggin' wagon here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, that was going to be the original idea, was the Suburban, and I'm like sleeping in the Suburban, and April's like rocking it, trying to wake me up and banging on the window, but you know, probably wouldn't have made it through customs. They probably would have had my gas tank on the side of the road. And, have fun putting that all back together, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't come back. Hey, glad you guys can make it out.
Yeah.
It's been fun visiting with you. Thanks
Absolutely.
for having us.
No, thank you guys. Drop jaw all the way.
All right, friends, thanks for listening to the Drop Jaw Flies podcast. We'd love to hear your feedback. You can find us on Instagram, Facebook, or our website, www.dropjawflies.com. Please subscribe to us on iTunes, Stitcher, Podbean, or our YouTube channel. Now get out there and hook a big one and stick 'em solid.